Alright everyone, Division 1, quick slick trick against the Fish Facts. Now I don't know about you, but if I see a team named Fish Facts, then I'm looking at that murky. So we're actually in Division 1, this is not a Division 7 game or anything, so this is the division that is right underneath Division S. And I'm gonna be curious to see what's gonna happen here. I have not casted any of these two teams yet. We're going into Infernal Shrines, which is our first map of this series. We have to run the band out immediately, and as you can already see, this is obviously going to be a little bit more meta, at least when it comes to the band pattern. Zeratul already taken out. I would still expect the same to happen for my F2. Maybe Diablo. I mean, there's a couple of heroes that you can really ban here. Even Alex Straza could warrant a ban if you feel that way. Infernal Shrines gives her added value, the Dragon Queen obviously being great too. And Uburak, on the other hand, is always a staple and a really solid ban. Taking him out allows or makes sure that your opponent doesn't have as much of potential to just jump in and dive deep. And with the ban on Diablo, which is actually a pretty good one too, we have Maiev open. So that's an interesting touch going into this. Now we talked a little bit in Division 7 how heroes like Maiev and Zeratul don't normally get banned out because very few teams actually play them. When you're looking at Division 1, it's a bit of a different setup. I mean, this is a lot closer to the highest level of play with Division S that you usually see. And yep, there it is. Maiev gets picked immediately. So with a quick pick on Maiev, and now having that engage tool in the hands of the Fish Fact. And yeah, obviously, if you get a good tether into a March of the Murlocs, I mean, that is pretty brutal. So we need to see those Fish Facts in action. That's at least what I personally think. I'm not quite sure what your thoughts are on the matter here. Hanzo and Garrosh are immediately being picked on the other hand now. So the Hanzo early pick isn't really an issue. That in itself is pretty solid, pretty standard, very good too. With Garrosh now we have still that zone control. The taunt on the position is another one that he can use. Wonder what they're going to pair that with. But now that Maiev is already taken, I could totally see them also head into Jaina. Fish Facts, that is. The AoE is there too. And what? The new Lucio! We're going to see the new Lucio. It's the first time for me, so be gentle, because I haven't really seen Lucio yet, but I heard that he's a real boy now. So apparently he got upgraded from an oversized minion to an actual hero, and we are going to now see if that's actually the case. Mal'Ganis with him is something that I didn't quite see though, and there's the ban on Jaina. That's what I expected to be picked here. Doesn't mean that you can't pick the two heroes that they just locked down, but if you have a Maiev setup, that Jaina sounds really, really good. So, interesting. Interesting priority. Jaina banned therefore. Okay, we're having also Alarak eliminated. So far, I gotta admit, I like the draft of quick slick trick a little bit more here, but yeah, let's check out how the blue team is gonna play this. I mean, Lucio's big strength, or the big question mark, is of course the new heroic ability that we have, and that is something that we would expect to come into play here, and that seems insanely strong. There's Imperious, that's one way where you can use that. And we have Malfurion. So a Garrosh Imperious setup. We've talked a lot about Imperious just in the last 1-2 weeks. And we've seen him in so many games as the main tank. Especially played by Team Russia, just to give one example. Nothing left, of course, as well. But now we're having him here as the off-lane hero, with Garrosh taking the main tank position. Fish Facts now, with our setup here. They still need a bit of damage. Jaina is banned out, so what's going to be the solution for them on that particular roster? Artanis and Gul'dan. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is Division 1. I looked that up, I promise. This is not Division 7. The draft, on the other hand, tells a different story. So, I honestly don't know what to expect here right now. But yeah, we have Artanis, Lucio, Maiev, Mal'Ganis, and a Gul'dan behind that. So, I'm intrigued. The last pick for the blue team, Orphea, comes in for a bit of burst damage. I like that setup quite a bit. Infernal Shrines is the map as we are heading into the first game of our best of 3 series here at Division 1. And well, I'm curious. Let's see what's happening here. Infernal Shrines, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump right in. Game on, and guys, I promise, I looked it up while we were in the loading screen, and it is a Division 1 game. I promise it's true. On the left side, Quick Slick Trick QST with Skillgrunt on Garrosh, Kejna on Imperius, Mariak on Ophir, Venus on Hanzo, and Viraka on Malfurion. I'm totally aware that I'm butchering all of these names, but I mean, it's their own fault. It's like, don't you have any vowels that you can add into that? I don't know. On the right side, the Fish Facts with Mekaku on Lucio. You see, that's the name. Ethereal on Artanis, Deadly Touch on Gul'dan. Trying to prove that with the level 1 talent here. Nadr Kanila on Mal'Ganis, and Stash on Maiev. Okay, Stash. Forgot the must, but still. Either way, level 1 amateur opponent for Artanis. When we're looking at Lucio, the Acelerando. Nothing has actually changed there. But yeah, I am very, very interested to see how that setup for the red team works out. Because let's face it, this is not really a lineup that you're normally seeing on Infernal Shrines. Well, then again, to be fair, this isn't a lineup that you see on any map. So even on something like Battlefield of Eternity, where Artanis himself gets a bit more value, you usually don't see that particular setup here. Oh yeah, up to the top, Imperius gets a bit of value there. But I'm really... I mean, I'm looking towards the Maya, for example, and I'm wondering, what do you actually pull people into? I mean, we've seen so many setups where you're going in, you're trying to connect the tether with Maiev, and then you pull people into a Blizzard, into Jaina damage, into a Stuk of Silence, into a Root from Malfurion, a stun, like any kind of setup or damage output, and we currently just simply don't have that on the other side. So I am personally excited to see how they're going to try and make that work. Because right now I just don't see it. But they picked their heroes with a lot of confidence. So I would expect that they have a game plan here. And that game plan can of course be pretty different. But yeah, it's more something that I would have expected from a different division. Not necessarily Division 1, where I expected more of a meta approach. But either way, if they have the individual skill here, they can definitely take that game, and we'll find out if they do, because from a lineups perspective, I would still give the game to the blue team, as already mentioned before. The early level 4 is in the hands of the Fish Facts though. The lack of Murky is still a little bit concerning to me personally, to be honest. At the bottom, it looks like Hanzo overstepped his bounds a bit. Tries to get away here, and yeah, they barely can't lock him down here, but that was a close call for him. Now we have the subwoofer taken on level 4. And with that, again, the rotations between the mid and the bot lane. Now, obviously, when you're looking at the lineup, we are not really having anything crazy happening in the top, because that's normally where you have that equilibrium between the two offlaners. Very rarely do you see any kind of setup here. In the meantime, we're still seeing Artanis doing his thing and starting to work down those camps. So that is definitely helping. His problem is that he's getting a little bit of company here. And that was a close call. That looked for a second like he would have a big problem here and get the camp stolen away from him. That didn't work out, but boy, that was close. Now Garrosh, on the other hand, he's in trouble, and he went a little bit deep on this one, gets tethered back in, and that could be the end of Skillgrunt. And it looks like he is indeed going to fall, and... no way. Alright, there's the tether. You gotta be kidding me. They get Mal'Ganis, they take down Maiev, and they're going straight for the kill against Gul'dan. And in the meantime, Garrosh just simply walked away from this. Hashtag calculated. Oh my god. I can't, like, first of all, I can't believe that he survived, but they got 3 kills out of this. Just think about how the Fish Facts must feel right now. You go into that particular setup, you're trying to punish them for going in that deep and trying to invade your camp, and then you lose 3 heroes and your opponent survives with 50 HP. That must feel horrible. I really feel for the guys here. This is a setup where you just look at the screen and you're like, really? Is that really how it's gonna be? Is that how we're starting this? So yeah, that came a bit unexpected, I gotta admit. So of course Gilgran by now has the Indomitable that he can put to use too. The level 7 Tilland is in as well. But we are still having two heroes pushing the lanes out for the red team as they realize they won't be able to win this Punisher. Mid lane Maiev pressure and bottom lane Artanis. But now there's at least level 7 on both sides, which gives us now the reverse amp taken here. We're also having, besides that, for Artanis, the Warp Sickness. And in comes the bait on the Punisher, straight over the wall with a Hunger for Power already taken here. So healing reduction in favor of the spell power. Yeah, but the wall is at least going to be pressured through. But they're not getting too much done here just yet. So they're not really having too much of a lead. Especially, of course, with Maiev being around. There's also... You don't want to dive in too deep for this one just yet. The early Punisher isn't really strong enough to shield anything there. You have to break through the wall. You're trying to get a bit of damage done. Unless you have a lead in talents and get the early level 10, then you normally don't get too much out of this one. But they're trying to take their own camp now, so this isn't timed with anything. They're taking this outside of any rotation of objectives. We're having 3 kills against 0 now, but still the lead for Quick Slick Trick thanks to the setup that they had at the top lane here. Now after a little bit of hesitation, we're still seeing the Into the Fray taken on the side of Garrosh. He hesitated actually for a long time on his level 7 talent. But now we're having that in too. Level 10 is of course the big game changer here for both of the teams, but the blue team is going to have this a lot quicker. Already dancing around right here with Mekaku. I'm still waiting for that level 10 value to come through. Can't wait to see the new one come in, the Mega Clans there. Which is, like on paper, it's insane. On paper, it's an absolutely insane talent. And I really want to see it on a higher competitive level, and especially, of course, on an organized level. If you're looking towards Storm League, this is still something that you just don't get there. And in here, it's something that you can at least expect. No Wrath, by the way, for Imperius. Instead, we are seeing him straight with the Angelic Armaments. So far, so good. Going a little bit more for the passive variation. Still, obviously, fish facts, they have to stick towards the towers a little bit more now. They have to just wait this out, get the level 10, wait for the next objective, just play this cool, calm, collected. And there we have the sound barrier. Okay. Going into the sound barrier right away. Pretty much the standard, not switching into the newer heroic just yet. And outside of this, the Dark Conversion is the only thing that I really want to highlight at this point, because everything else is pretty much the standard. Suppression Pulse is something that you're pretty much used to. Again, with the setup that we're seeing here, could have totally seen them with a Purifier Beam, but if that's the setup that you want to go for, you can definitely tether someone into that. Also play around it. Garrosh with the attempt, locked down already. Nice, the Haunt, and they can't get the kill, maybe. Oh, Malfurion. Malf with a save now. Well done. Lot of ults actually already exchanged here. Sound Barrier hasn't been thrown out yet. But yeah, so with that, we actually have 3 kills against 0, but both of the teams on the same level as the next objective spawns. And keep the Dark Conversion in mind. That thing is still on a big cooldown right now. It was used in the last setup, but they're even going for the camp. I like this a lot more. Like, the attempt to just get those camps around the objective is usually the way to go. And now they're going to have a lot of pressure onto that top lane. Granted, the rotation is just a few seconds late, which means that we're now seeing Quick Slick Trick with a slight lead in the minion stacks as we're entering the shrine. But we're already having the approach straight into this with a bit of a swap here on Garrosh. Good damage on him. Arrow goes far and wide, but the cage is on the ground, and now the blue team is in trouble, especially Malfurion. He's down, so is Garrosh. And Fish Facts, they get the triple kill, trying to go for the quad even, but at least Hanzo survives. 15 stacks against 20, and we see the Fish Facts with massive value here on the setup here in Division 1. The lineup actually starting to bear some fruit here. They're able to get the kills in, and with that we're having 3 kills against 3. They're already working at the same time around one of the mercenary camps on the map, and they're going to get this Punisher for sure. Good damage, nice setup. Really well done here. Especially the damage output that we're seeing from Gul'dan, for example, is pretty solid in that last fight. And now we're having Maiev with the exact same setup at the bot lane. So they're actually timing this with a lot of camps that they have taken. Talking camps, camp at the top lane has gotten quite some value with the wall destroyed. Imperius is taking care of it eventually, but down here the problems are just mounting up once again. The tether, and it could be another kill, but it isn't just quite yet. But look at Malfurion, he is once again isolated, and he's not the only one. The Punisher jumps in too to help out with the kill against Garrosh, and that's another one secured. Double kill here, and the fish facts are starting to murder people. The lineup might be a little bit awkward, but the skills definitely aren't. They're moving in, starting to take the names. 5 kills against 3. And with that, we're having them push through the bot lane pretty aggressively. We're seeing the Shadow Armor taken for Maiev. A little bit more sustainability. Night Beckons now taken too. And yeah, with more and more setup for them, they can definitely also get the swaps in through Artanis. He has a lot of an easier time. They open up the bot wall. Talking Artanis, top side, he's up against Imperius in the meantime. And this isn't too bad. This is actually pretty decent. So 14,000 damage on Gul'dan. Again, kills come in, especially the Horrifiers were so far on point. And 17,000 Hanzo. And we're still seeing them paint the entire map red. I mean, just look at the camps that they've taken. They've taken every single camp except for the top left. I wouldn't put it past them to try an eye for and maybe like go straight in and take down the camp too. Could definitely be the case. So right now, okay, camp gets taken now. They're gonna try and take this away now. Artanis still dancing around here. I actually like this. Artanis just danced in and double-checked the this one. So with them now seeing Garrosh shortly after, he didn't have to check the next one. But I actually like that. And Ophia, they go straight for her. And nicely done by Garrosh. Great arrow coming from Hanzo too. That was well done. But he has to Horrify again. And they're trying to make the play for skill run. Garrosh is low, but they cannot get the kill. It was actually a cool play from both sides. I really like the attempt to go for Ophia, but then also the turnaround. Not only Garrosh saving her, but Hanzo ready with the arrow from the bot lane, connecting with 3. And to be fair, I mean, they nearly got a kill out of this one too. So that would have been quite nice. But as it stands, it looks more and more as if Fish Facts are going to get that level 16 way ahead of Quick Slick Trick. Only question is it going to be a difference in talents when we're heading into the next objective? And with, well, a little bit more than half a minute left before that comes in play, there's actually a chance for Quick Slick Trick to catch up. That Invade, on the other hand, now that 16 is on the board, that's a big problem. Because that's what they've been waiting for the entire time. And oh, that hurts. Yeah, not this time. Ophia is down, Garrosh gets attacked too, and they're trying to make the play. Yeah, Lucio going in the cage, and the kill. Garrosh down, and the camp stolen, and that is a fantastic spot on map number 1 for the Fish Fact. 7 kills against 3. Hanzo at the bottom of the map is trying to at least get some experience for his team. And with 30 seconds and counting, it seems like they might have a chance to still go for level 16 talents. But of course, they have to wait for Garrosh now. And that's going to be another 16 seconds until he's back on board. Yeah, at least Hanzo is playing the safe. They're like, alright guys, learn my lesson here. Let's take this easy. The Rune is Affliction. Gul'dan still working on the completion of his level 1 quest, sitting at 21 stacks at this point. Rejuvenesca, or Rejuvenescencia, has been taken for Lucio again. And here with a level 16 just around the corner, we're having Quick Slick Trick starting to move straight to the top. This is the fight that really matters for them. This is the one that is going to be really important. Heat of the battle, by the way, has currently been taken on level 13 for Imperius. And there's the camp again claimed around the objective, despite the fact that it's topside, but this is going to be the big one. If Fish Facts win this fight, if they win this Punisher, it's going to be bad news, especially since it's an arcane Punisher. But the discrepancy in experience is going to be insane if they take this one as well. So right now, if you're Quick Slick Trick, you need to make sure that you have a good setup there. Now again, camps taken everywhere. Camps currently everywhere on the map, and that's a huge problem, because especially the bot lane with the catapults in there too, that's gonna hurt. That rotation, I like that. Save at least the fort. The problem is if you send someone down, they're giving it up. Oh, boys. No. Okay, so they're rotating back up. They can't give this up right now. They need to fight over it. That would just be a little bit too much. You can't just ask to give that up as well. So here's already the setup. Bot lane is a problem, but that's a... Oh, the arrow missing. Oh, the arrow missing. Here comes the engage again. Ethereal on his Artanis is a bit low. The cage comes down. Oh, the ult of Fear with a big ult, but a sound barrier keeping them alive. Skillgrunt is on half HP. They're trying to go in for the kill, but this time it's a lot harder for Fishfacts to make something happen here. And it looks like at least Mal'Ganis is gonna fall. Tried to go for the Dark Conversion, but got interrupted in the process. And without the tank, they have a problem now. Bot lane, on the other hand, that's of course a story that you would expect. They knew this would happen, but they knew they also needed to take the fight. So Imperius went back, is going to try and defend this now. The rest of the team is still waiting. As soon as someone shows bot lane, they're going to make their approach, and that's the case right now. Imperius is showing bot lane, and immediately the attack against Skillgrunt, and Skillgrunt is going to fall. He's going to die. Yeah, he's down. Garrosh is down, and now they can fight again. They have a 4 versus 3 at the top even, and they go for Fia, and that's going to be the end of her. Quick double kill. Great play by Fishfacts. Fishfacts with a really, really cool setup. They're waiting in the shadows. They're saying, if someone shows at the bottom of the map, we go. And it's a 4 versus 4, and they claim it, and they take the Punisher. Well played by them. Yeah, at the bot lane, at least the keep got saved, so that's something. Problem still is you're 2 levels behind, 5 kills behind, and your opponent is marching with a pretty pesky Arcane Punisher through the top lane, trying to now take level 20s, and not only your key, but maybe even the core. Artanis is starting to push out another lane. I mean, for Artanis, obviously, what they're going to try and do is, like, get that 20 early. This is why he actually wasted time here. Well, not wasted. Sacrificed some time to get this. So now with another minion wave surely coming through the top in just a few seconds, they're going to attempt to make that play. There's the swap, but only short distance. That didn't work out for Garrosh. He had triple stun from the Protector. Garrosh himself is low, by the way. He's really low. Keeps himself alive, but now, as we're seeing the keep fall, they're actually rotating away and starting to go for another camp. Take it away from your opponent. Put pressure onto the top lane. And then maybe even rotate down to the bottom and take another key. But first of all, they can work on that 40 in the middle. Now with the level 20 talents, the Wrath of Nathrazar is now taken too. So at this point, just speccing fully into his heroic ability. With that said, we're having again the Shadow of Vengeance taken for MIF. Bot lane pressure now, and again, keep in mind, if you just get close enough to that keep, it's down. And that would be the second one. And Imperius is showing topside. Also, now, Orbital Bombardment taken as well. That's actually a really nice setup, and there's the second keep down. 2 keeps down, level 20 on the board. They are in such a good spot. They are in such a great position right now. 30,000 damage for Gul'dan, 38k for Hanzo. But of course now also taking the walls down, denying vision to their opponent. Next shrine is going to spawn at the bottom of the map, which obviously is something that makes matters even worse for Quick Slick Trick, because they don't have a keep there anymore. That keep has long gone. The only thing that the blue team can do is get level 20 and fight another fight. Try and get a team wipe. But if you look at the setup here, top lane, nothing taken. Over here, Fort still in play. Bot lane, same picture. So wherever they go, they just need to take structures. They need to take them quickly, because there's catapults pushing now consistently on 2 lanes already. And the mid lane has just started to spawn catapults on every 3rd wave too. That doesn't help your cause either. Yeah, it's a wild setup for the fish fact, but they are doing work. Yeah, well, one fish fact that we learned in this game, you don't need the fish to actually win a game. And take it without Murky. Mid lane pressure still continues. With half a level away from level 20, they're just pushing. They're saying, alright, get Gul'dan in. Who's still, by the way, working on his Echoed Corruption. So that's probably one of the small downsides that we have. Also, the Bonds of Justice hasn't been completed yet either. Currently sitting at 6 stacks here on the level 1. Definitely something that they would, of course, love to complete by now. But yeah, it's going to be level 20 versus level 20. Hanzo at the bottom of the map is maybe staying here a little bit too far out. Needs to play this careful. They don't have vision. And he's trying to check this out, but now he gets swapped over, and that's him dead. Again, you're closing in on level 20. Your opponent is nowhere seen on the map. Why would you do that? Why would you be there? There is no reason. That wave is pushing in with the catapults against you anyways. Now the core is being attacked, and that little faux pas by Hanzo might be the end of the game. Especially, of course, with Hanzo being down for another 40 seconds, and now the shrine being attacked. He went into play of the game, and he was forced into it too. because he needs to throw that arrow when he comes out to just be there quick enough, because that shrine is already starting to get attacked, and he's now not down for another 30 seconds. Huge mistake there. Huge mistake, and absolutely unnecessary. That wave pushes in against you anyways. The shrine wasn't even announced yet. There was no pressure, and he just stood too far out. Now the attack comes in, and they fight the 4 versus 5. They're forced into it. 23 stacks already accumulated by the fish facts, and they can't wait any longer. They have to at least threaten it. And so far, they're trying to make the play from Alganis, but yep, this is not looking pretty at all. There's the swap against Orphea. She's trying to get the kill in. That doesn't work out. Down she goes, and she might not be the only one. Arrow comes in. Hanzo is there, finally in the mix, but they are not able to get a lot done here. They might get a kill against Mal'Ganis though, but the Dark Conversion, they get the kill against Garrosh. They get the kill against Imperius, and now we have actually Lucio starting to chase them down here too. Well, Lucio is occupying them at this point, waiting for the rest of the team to come in. Boops Hanzo back, and that could be the kill. The bonds connect, and that's the death of Hanzo again. They stick that bow where the sun doesn't shine, and Hanzo dies once more. And that's going to be the end of game number 1. The catapults are already on the core, and now the Punisher is in as well. This is game, ladies and gentlemen, as the Fish Facts take the victory in the first game of the series here in Division 1 against the Quick Slick Tricks. Volskaya, map number 2, everybody. Quick Slick Tricks. Kind of a little bit surprised, as were we all, by the composition that got used by the Fish Facts in game number 1, which surprisingly worked out here in Division 1. So, yeah, we're actually heading into our second game. And personally, I'm really interested to see what's happening this time. I mean, Volskaya is the map, and it seems like it's the map choice of the Fish Facts. That alone already makes me a little bit suspicious, to be honest with you. So what else can you play here? It's honestly a setup that I would have expected from Division 7, but not from Division 1. But they made it work, so we can't really complain here. Question is, when you are Quick Slick Tricks, how do you play against this now? They start with a ban against Maiev, and you can't fault them for that choice. I would still expect that Zeratul gets banned out too. Already Tyrande gets eliminated here. And if you ban out Zeratul, then immediately you have eliminated 2 of the main engaged heroes that we see pretty much banned in nearly every encounter. But yeah. So Volskaya Foundry would of course lead also to a couple of hero choices like Rexas. We've seen him a lot in the past here. If you want to play around that, can you play a Murky here? I guess you can. The question is, can you win with it? As a Zeratul ban. Okay, I expected that. But now the main question is, what exactly are the Fish Facts banning out? Is there anything that they really respect enough that they're saying, okay, this has to be eliminated here? Hanzo, Blaze, Garrosh, any of those that they want to target? And it's an Uberak again. Not gonna deal with that Cocoon. Trying to get that away once again. And with that, we have Skill Grunt on the first pick for his team, for the Quick Slick Tricks. Hanzo would work. Sylvanas. Okay, that's a quick one. Trying to play around Sylvanas again to make sure that they can push pretty heavily, especially if they get the Protector. Okay, now my expectations are pretty high for the Fish Facts. Like, I want to see something cool here. I want to see at least a little twist. They don't have to go full YOLO here, I understand, but at least like on the last pick or so, give me something to work with. Hanzo Diablo, again, full on board. Arrow into Apocalypse, maybe even Lightning Fury, Lightning Breath, but Arrow Apocalypse, totally on board. Totally works for me. But let's see if we're gonna get something else. This is actually the moment where Quick Slick Tricks is looking at this and is like, wait a second, this looks normal. Are they tricking us here? Or are they actually playing a normal composition now? With Sylvanas in the mix already, the question is more so, what exactly are they gonna take? They go for Lucio. Okay, so Viraka might actually show them what the new ult is good for. There is a lot of CC on the other side, so if you have that team cleanse, then you can definitely put that to some use. Skill Grunt again on his Garrosh, so that worked pretty well for them. I mean, that's with the one exception in the early game where they actually had that problem where... No, it was actually Garrosh surviving and them getting 3 kills there, so yeah, that kind of worked too. Alright, so, the ban on Alarak. The ban pattern is the exact same. Fish facts, they haven't changed a thing there. Quick Slick Tricks, on the other hand, they need to be pretty quick and slick in this case now. They are already very quick because they have Lucio. Now they need to be very slick as well. I guess Blaze would be slick. It's a bit oily. Could work. Alright. Gul'dan gets banned again. Well, not again, but after the first map. Not quite sure if they would have gone for Gul'dan here. Gul'dan on Infernal Shrines is quite a bit stronger. You can definitely play him on Volskaya. Alright, Jaina, this is a pretty traditional setup right now, and it hurts, I can tell you that much. And Alexstrasza. Okay, Fish Facts, they're done with playing around here. Fish Facts, they want to win this one now. It would actually be kind of interesting if if they lose this. They play a bit of a meme play or combo in like the first game and win it handily. And if they then play a normal composition and lose, then I definitely know what we're gonna be in for from this team in the future of this season. There's Imperius and Junkrat. Pretty decent setup for them. Again, I want to see the Lucio value. I definitely do. I want to see if he can deliver. He has won the first game. Not quite sure if that was necessarily his achievement. Still, Fish Facts now again on the last pick. I expected one odd hero, and it's Artanis again. Okay, that seems to be their flavor of the week here. Artanis taken once more, ladies and gentlemen. Fish Facts against Quick Slick Trick on Volskaya Foundry. Game number 2 here at Division 1. Game number 2, the Fish Facts dominated the first one, and now against Quick Slick Trick. Let's see how this is gonna go. That's the map choice of the red team as we are on Volskaya, and on the left side we have Skill Grunt on Garrosh. We see Kejna on Imperius, Mariak on Sylvanas, Viraka on Lucio, and Inus on Junkrat. And on the right side of the map, Meikaku on Artanis, Deadly Touch on Jaina instead of Gul'dan this time, Stash on Hanzo, Natkranila on Diablo, and Ethereal on Alexstrasza. Alright, time to shine. We are seeing the unfurling shadows on level 1. Alright, already getting a little bit of action here together. Like that. I want to see how many stacks we're going to get here on Sylvanas. She can do some insane damage actually. But that lineup with Diablo, Jaina and Hanzo is definitely a scary one. So especially after level 10 there is an insane amount of potential that we can see from them. And it's going to be interesting if they can set that up properly. If they can actually sync that, that would be fantastic for them. Ooh, nice! The swaps of Meikaku are actually... Oh, get wrecked, son! Deadly Touch comes in as Imperius tries to escape to the top. That didn't work out. But I gotta admit that those swaps that we're seeing from Meikaku and Artanis are pretty gold. I mean, that bad boy is doing solid work on that hero. He had a couple of insane swaps already on the last one, but he is definitely adding up on that. So now we're having also, with that first kill, a little bit of headway on the side of Fish Facts, so obviously going straight for their own turret camp. I mean, we're seeing the same thing from the blue team too. Both of them are well aware that they have to make that play right now. And there's still a little bit of a push out in the mid lane, where they can also now attempt to go straight up towards the healing beacon and maybe start that up. Artanis is still moving down to the bottom of the map. Amateur opponent again, level 1 talent here for him. And with everything being on point, I mean, the setup that they have is actually pretty decent for the beacon. They're already looking around that area. Artanis at the bot lane is actually a bit in trouble, but not too much. Still able to easily stay alive here. Even a bit of turret damage against Imperius here. The rest of the team is currently looking at Junkrat. They won't be able to get a kill there, but they're still trying to poke slightly. Level 4 talent, again, a bit sooner for the Fish Facts with this. And now we're having also both still darting around that beacon. It actually seems that both of them are okay not taking it. You would expect to have one team pulling the trigger eventually. This is a problem. If Junkrat goes down, that's going to be an easy one. And they're actually trying to snipe this right now. With Junkrat being this slow, I would say that's a bit of a ballsy play there, to be honest with you. The rest of the team is rotating in. And here comes the push into the wall. Gonna get thrown out in a second. And they're going for it. Can they get a kill though? Oh, the turret's on the ground, and that's Imperius dead. Already the beacon being used too, and that is bad, bad news right now for the blue team. Quick, slick trick. Can they kill Diablo? That would make it worth it, and yep, they can. And they kill Jaina too. Nicely done. Get the double kill here. So all of the items are off the board with this, but we have at least the 2 kills against the Fish Fact. That gives them a slight lead in experience. Nothing crazy, definitely nothing to write home about. But they have also the early access onto the control point itself, and that obviously helps. They're starting to move straight into this one. Up towards the top side. Artanis is still pushing it out. Looking decent at this point. Level 1 talent here with the party mix. Trying to get the... 356 stacks for now, 18 stacks for the Unfurling Shadows. Of course, we want to work on that, but the question is still, how much can Sylvanas get here? This is the first objective. If she's able to stack a lot, the damage output towards the later stage of the game is going to be pretty insane. Especially, of course, if you get the Protector. I mean, that's all that Sylvanas really wants to do. Get the Protector and really help pushing. And make sure that you are just winning that even harder. Now there comes the push into the backline. Another swap coming in from Artanis. Deadly touches for out here as they're starting to make the play in. The heals from Alex Straza. She already committing to the Dragon form. 96% at this point in time. Fish Facts waited as long as they could. They waited as long as they could. They have the earlier level 7 right now, but not for long. Because topside, we have Mariek on a Sylvanas already burning down the waves and burning down the camp. And obviously, that's enough experience for them to get their extra talent as well. With the talents coming in, we're seeing the Warp Sickness again. Same build that we had for Artanis in the last game. And we have on level 7 now also the Festering Wounds coming in. Trying to get that extra stack going for the level 1. It's all about the items right now again, and both of the teams are holding at least 1 turret thanks to the camp coming back. Sylvanas already sitting straight in the back there, trying to make the play. They can't give this one up. It's 72 against 98. It's close. Both of the turrets on the ground. Dibble's in trouble, and he gets wrecked. Nicely done by a skill grunt on Garrosh. They get the kill against Diablo, and that looks very likely the first Protector for the blue team. And with that, they have the Sylvanas value, obviously, that they can try and get now. Protect on the ground, and it seems like Quick Slick Trick is not done with that game just yet. They want to come back into this series and force game number 3. And with the early attack here towards the wall, they will be able to take the wall down, easy peasy, and the obvious goal is then to prepare the top lane shortly after. Wall already dropped, and the rotation is starting towards the top of the map. Imperius hasn't wasted any time either. He's at the bot lane, and there's nobody rotating against him. Artanis is too slow. Artanis is too slow right now. They're going to lose experience, and they're going to lose a fair chunk. They're going to lose the entire wave at the bottom. But then again, they have a bit of an advantage because they're actually burning down the Punisher. Bit of a misplay here from the blue team to move in without a minion wave. Should have waited that out so that the turrets at least soak, or that the minions are at least soaking some of the minion shots. So that fountain is still there. That's actually a pretty solid situation for the Fish Facts, considering that they lost the first Protector. That isn't too bad, and now they're making the play again. They're trying to go straight in, and we're likely going to lose this. Nicely done here on the other hand. But still, there's the kill against Diablo, and the healing beacon is on the ground and keeps Skillgrunt alive. Artanis is dead too, and it's a triple, baby. They're going in, they're dropping Jaina. They have the front line eliminated. 41 stacks by now also for Sylvanas, as we are seeing Quick Slick Trick doing a lot of work here. It seems like we're having Lucio today being a little bit of a good luck charm. Maybe he was really upgraded to be a real boy now. Successful in game number 1, and in game number 2 the team with Lucio is leading again. Coincidence? I'm not quite sure yet. I see a trend happening here. That said though, on level 10 again the sound barrier. Sound barrier taken. We also have the angelic armaments. No wrath on level 10 for Imperius. Always a lost opportunity. It's a fantastic ult. It's a fun ult. It's a precious ult. Fountain has been taken down after all. The level 10 abilities made it possible here. Garrosh is taunting us a little bit because he hasn't taken taunt yet. As weird as that might sound. And an evade potentially at the bottom of the map here. Artanis is actually starting to move in, and yeah, they're already showing. Did they? They didn't see each other. Alright, fair enough. Water Elemental over the Ring of Frost. We're still having the Apocalypse after the Hanzo Arrow. That's a big one. It's a really, really big setup. It's actually one of the reasons why I'm a bit sad that we don't see the Ring of Frost here, because, well, you can use it to slow, of course, the opponent down. That's one thing. Nicely done again with a swap here. Artanis value. Damn, son. Mekaku on that hero is actually doing pretty solid work. I am surprised. One of the few Artanis players that I've seen so far that actually provides a little bit of value for his team. At this point, though, Junkrat has done the same at the top lane and dropped that 4 to half HP. So, yeah. For now, we're going to have also, again at the bottom of the map, Mekaku just sliding around here, this time against Miraka and Lucio. Darts in, but the big thing, of course, is going to be that level 13. This is the moment where, as the red team, you have to make a choice. Do you go straight for the objective? Do you try to get a bit of a progress, delay it? Are you willing to fight a level 13, or do you just slide around? And keep in mind, the difference here is largely because of those, obviously also because of the structural damage that was done, especially the fort that was taken out in the middle. But keep in mind that we actually saw a lot of minion experience lost from the fish facts because they didn't really meet those lane rotations of quick slick trick. That's a big aspect of this. Once again, here comes the old on Alexstrasza, as we are seeing actually, hello? Someone's in trouble, and that someone is Garrosh. Garrosh is in a lot of trouble here. Skill Grunt gets swapped again. Mekaku with a play. The arrow connects, and that's a dead Garrosh right there. 13 talents are nice, but if you can't really capitalize on that little power spike, then they're not going to do jack shit for you. Another great swap attempt here by Mekaku. This time it doesn't connect, but it was still a good attempt. And despite the fact that they were down a talent, the Fish Facts have taken the fight, and they're now taking the objective. They're still rotating heroes around, going for the healing beacon first of all. That gives them the lead in items. And with a quick rotation into the middle, they will be able to get the experience for level 13 as well. Obviously, Garrosh is back by now, so they need to hurry up. But this is a really, really cool setup, considering that they were so far behind heading into objective number 2. So all of a sudden, the games have changed. With that, we're going into a super interesting setup. Talking super interesting. Life Unbound now taken on level 13. We're still seeing at the same time Lucio with their heavy casters, which I think is a pretty much an insult. I'm personally offended here. I'm not heavy, so I really think that Lucio needs to shut the fuck up and doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm not heavy, not in the slightest. Jaina, on the other hand, she gets taken down. Not too heavy for Garrosh to throw her around. Oh, the kill maybe with a Reptire. Oh my god. Stash with 50 HP survives. Grenade comes in but doesn't connect. Uh-oh. That's a good push here. Imperius, Artanis is down, but they get the counter kill against Imperius. Nice. The Hanzo arrow even committed to that. Well done by him. The problem, of course, still being that the Artanis down. They're still on 91% on the progress bar, so they're still ahead here. They're still in a decent position. The Fish Facts are currently looking strong with this. Starting to move in as soon as Artanis is back, I would assume. Actually, at this point, they could fight the 4 versus 4 if they wanted to, and it looks like they want to. They don't have enough. Well, they actually are still a fully stacked Diablo, and here comes the ult from Alex. Wally is also in play. The Water Elemental is slowing down Junkrat. Junkrat barely gets out, and yep, they are rushing away, and that could be, that should be, that will be the Protector in favor of the Fish Facts. Or is it? 96%. Garrosh enters the arena, 99. Sylvanas is too low. Hanzo misses the shot, but still, she is incredibly low. Can still tap at the fountain. Another advantage that they have over the Fish Facts. But this is a 5 versus 5 right now. The 5 versus 5 is right there. And we are waiting for the ults to be back up. And Hanzo's arrow is on 2 seconds. Has the ult back up, and that could be the follow-up with the Apocalypse. Here comes the hit. Apocalypse not being used as the follow-up. That might be a problem, but they're zoning them out. Hanzo is dead on the other hand, but they're going to get the Protector. They're going to get the Protector. There it is. Hanzo dies, killed by Sylvanas, who by now is at 75 stacks, but the Protector is claimed. And all of this happening just before they have level 16. Just before they're 16. Now the 16 should help them to defend a bit. Now again, as I said before, look at Imperius. He's at the bot lane. He's getting them value. This is a lot of value. This is what you're trying to achieve with the Protector in the first place. You try with Protector number 2 to prepare the bottom lane for the next objective, but just look at the damage output that they're seeing against the Protector. That bad boy gets burned down so quickly right now. At the bottom of the map, we have the fountain is still in play, but that can be taken pretty easy later. Mekaku is still there. Despite the fact that we have them winning the objective, they are actually not getting anything done with this. Look at this. They get the second objective and they haven't taken down a single fort. Not one. Protector with 0 value. Will of the Forsaken now. Sylvanas at 88 stacks at this point. We're having her with 35,000 damage. Still trailing behind Hanzo, but outside of that, she's matching the damage output of Jaina. Now, talking Jaina, she's at the top lane, defending against Junkrat's wave that he's pushing in. Lucio with 58,000 heals. On the other side, we're seeing Alexstrasza. At this point with 53,000 as well. Camps taken all over the place. 9 kills against 5. The item control going to be highly important again. And so far, it seems like we're going to see Quick Slick Trick making the play for the healing beacon again. Keep in mind, every single fight around the healing beacon so far has been lost by the fish facts. They go in with the Apocalypse. They go in with Alexstrasza. And there comes the sound barrier. Sound barrier is in. Hanzo's arrow has been committed to as well. But we don't see the ult from Artanis just yet. He's the only one who still has it up. And he's trying to quickly get the swap in. Again, Diablo a little bit far out. They try and go maybe for Imperius. And yeah, he stayed too long. He could have walked away there. But that was a little bit of a suicidal mission right there. Items on the other hand. Yep, we still have the small lead now for the Quick Slick Trick. Not in terms of items, don't get me wrong. In terms of items, they're dead even. Everything was used in the last fight. But the experience lead is definitely a reality. And they are, of course, going to try and work against them now by pushing through this. Starting to jump in here right away. And at the bottom of the map, Artanis is also delivering a few extra points. And as we've seen from Imperius before, if he can break through this, he might actually even be able to go straight for the fountain. And this is, as we've now stated numerous times, it's a big one. It's the one that we really need here. Artanis, in the meantime, with a triple strike, went into the Titan killer here too against Garrosh. And they are going for that fountain, and he gets it. Artanis gets the fountain, so they have a lead over the third objective. And they're also starting to catch up in experience. That's pretty important too. Catch up in XP. Alex still walking around here, starting on the money pick to rotate, but they have to keep their own fountain in play. And that's why I'm a little bit concerned that nobody is taking the bot lane, because Junkrat is pushing that out. They're trying to, of course, deal with the camp at the top of the map, and they're currently doing exactly that. But there's already 3 heroes just waiting for the rotation. Alex plays it safe. I like that a lot. Very, very safe rotation. But here's the commitment, as expected, to the fountain. They're starting to go in, and that's a dead healing fountain right there. Sylvanas has crossed over the 100 stacks, sitting at 102 right now. 15 minutes into the game. Hanzo. Ooh, baby. All right, he gets away. He saw that Garrosh coming. It was a bit of a shock moment that probably reminded him of game number 1. Granted, he was played by the other team, but still the same hero. Same thing. Don't judge me. That fight, on the other hand, comes a little bit too late. There's the arrow. Wailing arrow already committed. Talking arrows. There comes Hanzo arrow and the big apocalypse. The big boy apocalypse, followed by the big boy sound barrier. Nicely done by Lucio. And Dibbles is down. So is Imperius, though. But Diablo is back. He was fully stacked, and he's going to be back to business. They're trying to make this a second one. Mekaku, is he going to go for the big boy swaps? Nah. They're going for the objective now, aren't they? They got it up. They can go down to the bottom of the map. They're still trailing behind in experience a little bit, and if they're able to get a bit more EXP through minions, that would be a good one. Actually, they're trying to go straight in for the item as well. That's a nice touch. That's going to help them. We'll have the Storm Talons a little bit later, but thanks to that little play, they at least have an item advantage over their opponent. That's quite well something. Talking about experience, topside, look at Hanzo. Mr. Stash himself is getting the XP. Gets already pings like, dude, get the fuck out of there. And he moves back. And we're having another protector also. Or not the protector, but the beacon attacked. They get it, and they're jumping away. Can they chase him, though? Lucio's there. Oh, Artanis. And yeah, he's already on the way out. Both of them are going to hit level 20. This is actually pretty cool from the fish facts. I honestly thought that we are going to see the comeback from Quick Slick Trick here. But despite the fact that those protectors so far haven't really done a lot, and that the rotations around the objective weren't maybe the cleanest, we're actually seeing the fish facts get the earlier level 20 over their opponent even. Wintermute taken, play of the game again. We're already having now the Zealot charge taken too. And the big fight for the big objective. Now, again, there's not a single... We are very likely going to see a fourth one, by the way, in this game. There's not a single fort that has been taken out this game by the fish facts. Which is really surprising if you're talking about Protector number 3. This is usually the one that decides the game. And in this case, it's very unlikely. Alex Straza is in the Riptire. The Apoc comes out too. Diablo is super low, but he actually survives and gets away with a Hellgate. Even gets a stun through against Garrosh. Hanzo with the arrow with another stun, but Jaina is down. Jaina dead and Garrosh still alive. Everybody low, but that doesn't give you anything. Look at that barrage that comes in from Junkrat. He's just getting the grenades through and Diablo is eating every single one of them. Jaina is dead and that's a massive issue right now. Really good setup at this point for Quick Slick Trick. They are likely to get this one out as well. Look at Imperius, by the way. 6 deaths out of the 7 deaths that we've seen on the side of Quick Slick Trick. Imperius has died 6 times. 123 stacks now for Sylvanas, and she's starting to move in straight for this one. We might even see that game here. Despite everything that I just said, if this continues and Sylvanas is able to get the completely disabling of the structures through, we might see the game end. They might be able to make that play. Talking Imperius. Imperius went for Impervious. Look at that. I mean, that's actually a talent that he really needs, considering that he died 6 times. That's probably a good talent to take if you have a problem, despite the fact that you went for armament on level 10. So yeah, that's a good one. Protector number 3, Protector number 1, and Protector number 2 haven't really done anything. I mean, both of those Protectors have not taken down a fort. Let's just state that again. So, with that said, we have now a chance to get some value here. Still sitting in the middle. I'm not quite sure what they're doing there. You are on 20. You are aware after 20 there's no additional talent, don't you? So yeah, they're starting to move down to the bottom, pushing the lane out first. The least you have to get out of this is a keep. Again, you kind of want to end here, but the least you have to get is a keep. If they don't get a keep, then, like, I don't know, but that would be an issue. So with the Wailing Arrow upgraded onto the Deafening Blast, that's also another big tool that they have in their belt. And they're starting to make the play for the keep here. And again, that should be a freebie. Now already disabled, that's definitely going to go down. The question is, can you get the kill and catapult this entire play towards the core? And they're not making that rotation. No, they're not risking it. This isn't Team Russia. That has been pretty evident so far. The Russians, they would have straight gone core. The Russians would have gone core 5 minutes ago, obviously. But right now, we're actually seeing Quick Slick Trick trying to at least get some additional value here in the middle of the map. If they can get 2 keeps, I mean, that's good in my book too, especially since the 4th Protector is obviously going to spawn mid-side again. So yep, they're starting to move in once more and start to jump straight into this one. Mekaku is actually, he has actually their respect. With all those rotations coming in and him just swapping heroes the entire game. Quest completed at 20 minutes and 55 into the game. Look at that, Junkrat, you little beast. Yeah. Junkrat on the level 4. Nicely done. Good extra damage now. That random damage that he gets from that is going to be extremely solid for them. I mean, it has been already. You've seen how Diablo got wrecked by it earlier. But the item play. And they're actually here first. Look at this. Nice. Nice for them, that is. They're likely going to get this one. Oh, Diablo pushes them out. They're trying to go for it. And they're getting the beacon. Yes, they do. Hanzo still with the arrow play here. Oh yeah, 2 cooldowns already set. Oh my god, Sylvanas! Oh, the grenades! And they're about to get the kill. Ice Block is out, Riptire is in, and that's Hanzo and Jaina down. Sylvanas just absolutely destroyed them. There comes the barrier, and she goes in again. 147 stacks by now on Sylph, and they should easily be able to go core here. Bot lane is already getting pressure as they're making the play. They want game 3, and it looks likely that they're going to get it at this point. Yeah, Junkrat might be, Lucio might be a little bit low, but still, without the damage dealers, they have an easy time there, taking down Diablo and going straight for the core, which is already taking damage. They're stacking a bit too hard at this point, but it doesn't even matter anymore. Down to 50%, and there is just no way for the Fish Facts to save this one. Not with Alex and Artanis. Down it goes. Quick Slick Trick starting the comeback into the series as they force game number 3. game number 3. Quick Slick Trick against the Fish Facts. And yeah, Lucio with a 100% win ratio right now. He didn't quite get the numbers that we've seen from Alexstrasza, but yeah, Lucio actually is starting to win games here. And Artanis is on a 1-1. Division 1 again. I mean, we are just in the league that is right underneath from Division S. Maiev gets banned out as we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity. Now we have seen that Tyrande already banned out twice. At this point, I actually suspect that Fish Facts are not really going to change a whole lot when it comes to their ban pattern. I could see Quick Slick Trick start to change up their bans. Now I would still expect that we're seeing Zeratul banned out here, but considering that we had now Artanis played twice, there's a bit of a chance that Artanis gets banned out on the third one, because if you feel that we've seen Meikaku already get value on Infernal Shrines and on Volskaya Foundry with Artanis, then this is a map where, if at all, we see Artanis a little bit more regularly. Now, he's normally not really a high priority hero, but I gotta give it to Meikaku. He's making it work. So we've seen a Nubarak banned now several times in on that spot. Sylvanas gets banned out this time. Okay. Sylvanas getting banned out here after game number 2. Kind of learning from that. This is again the map choice of the Fish Facts, by the way, despite the fact that they actually lost the map. And Nubarak gets immediately being picked. So this is kind of the setup where Fish Facts is switching their bans up, and Quick Slick Trick is trying to capitalize on that. So with that said, let's see what are the picks here. There's Garrosh and Lucio. All right. So they pick Garrosh away from. Yeah, they pick Garrosh away from Skillgrunt. Well, not really, because he has a Nubarak, but they pick Garrosh for themselves now, and they pick Lucio. So if Fish Facts wins here, then Lucio has a 100% win ratio in this series. There's Hanzo. Honor. And Alarak. Alarak got banned out twice now on the third spot, and this time Quick Slick Trick is saying, you know what, we want our Alarak. There's a reason we play that hero. And this time we're going to pick him early before you can ban him out on the third. I like the adjustments. I like the adjustments that we have in the draft here. I actually like them a lot. It also, by the way, means if Fish Facts win here, then it means that Hanzo has a 0% win ratio in this series. He was played twice, lost twice. There's the ban on Imperius now for the potential offlane. What do you ban out now? I want to see if they ban Artanis. I honestly want to see if they ban Artanis. Twice played, twice impactful, but they get rid of Chromie. No Chromie rework. No new Chromie coming in. And Meikaku has to play Artanis here, right? I mean, there is no way he's not playing Artanis. Not if you actually played Artanis twice before and then Battlefield of Eternity. Yep, there we have it. And Li Ming together with that. I like the setup. Again, normally I would say Artanis, really? But on this map, he's a little bit better. Meikaku has played a great Artanis on the other maps before. And now you have Li Ming with this setup too. So, okay, we can go for the resets. 3 times Artanis in the series. And 3 times Lucio. There's the side lane Arthurs. And Rhaegar for the heals. And the Lightning Shield for the Immortal, obviously. And that leaves us with a final damage dealer. You could see Jimmy, actually, in this case. Jimmy, I mean, I wouldn't really expect Junkrat here, but Jimmy would definitely fit the bill. Would probably be my favorite in this setup, to be honest with you, despite the fact that we're having Arthurs and a Nubarak on the other side. Can play Greymane if you want to, if you feel you need more power on the Immortal itself. What's it gonna be? Fish Facts. Final pick. It's Jimmy! Reina getting picked here. Final map, ladies and gentlemen. Division 1. Battlefield of Eternity. The Fish Facts going up against Quick Slick Trick. Game on, everybody! Quick Slick Trick on the left. Playing with Skillgrunt on Nubarak. Kejna on Arthurs. Mariak on Alarak. We have Winus on Hanzo. Viraka on Rhaegar. And on the right side of the map, their opponent, the Fish Facts, with Meikaku on Lucio. Interestingly enough, he is not playing Artanis this time. He's actually the one playing Lucio here in game number 3. So they're swapping supports around quite a bit. Deadly Touch now on Reina. We have Stash on Li Ming. Nadrikanila on Garrosh and Ethereal on Artanis. Alright. Also having a couple of adjustments when it comes to the talents at this point. I mean, just look over to Artanis, Arthas, who obviously is taking the solo lane. He's going into Eternal Hunger here. So playing around the extra damage and the mana on his hero. That means that we're seeing Alarak in the 4-man at the bottom of the map. Still playing this a little bit safe down here. Trying to buy their time. Yeah. Actually not even quite sure why exactly they're playing it this slow here and this defensive. They're hoping maybe to just jump out with Garrosh and get a throw over the wall. If that was the case, didn't really work. But yeah, with that said, a lot of role swaps that we're having here for the fish facts, which is really interesting to me, but I wonder how that works out for them now. I was really impressed by a lot of the Artanis plays that we had before, but we might not get quite the same here. Still quite a bit of potential against the Immortal here, racing it down. But obviously now with the camps appearing on the map, we're having a bit of an earlier commitment by the blue team, who immediately starts going in there. Very defensive pattern actually by the red team. I'm really surprised of how defensive they are right now. They're giving this one up without any big fight there whatsoever, and it just seems to me that they're slightly afraid of Artanis maybe? Or the poke in general. I mean, they still have Li Ming and they have Jimmy now in the setup too, but they are just playing super careful. Obviously at the top lane, we're not having it on screen, but it's pretty much just that battle between the two offlaners getting additional stacks for Arthas at this point. There's the throw, but not over the wall. Still in tower range. Nearly the counter killer on the other hand. As we're seeing the pressure against Garrosh. Talking pressure. Artanis done a little bit of pressure to the top lane. Arthas obviously too. But Arthas at least has the death core that he can use for himself. That swap missed. For Arthas it's really just a setup where he's trying to get the trade in. This is one of the things that he is currently trying to do. Stack that as much as he can, get the auto attack damage for the later stages of the game. Mana commitment here too. Stacks obviously also coming in for Garrosh here. And as I said before, if Fish Facts win the game, it means a lot of things. First of all, it means that Lucio has won all 3 games. But it also means that Hanzo would have lost all 3 games. So there's definitely a lot on the line here. Honor, how Hanzo would say. Yeah, now with level 4 talents on both sides, Arthur's at least going straight into the Frozen Wastes here, so he's not going in for Icy Talons or anything along those lines with Rune Tap on level... Oh, nicely done. Good job on Marek, moving out of this one. Rune Tap on level 7. I still expect Icebound Fortitude to be taken by him. Level 4 on the other hand with the Spirit Walker's Grace here. So a little bit worried about the mana sustain. I actually think this is a really interesting one. I really expected him to go for the healing totem here. Not going for that is a bit weird, because on this map you usually get a lot of healing totem value. Talking value, Stash barely getting out as everybody tries to collapse onto him. Li Ming survives, but Lucio, oh my god, Lucio's barely getting away. Rhaegar was thinking about jumping in, decided against it, and I think that was a good choice to be made there. But everybody on the red team is super low. That combo has hit pretty hard though, and the skill grump nearly bit the dust here with his little beetle. They're still defending at the bottom of the map though, and they're doing a decent job. At the top lane, we have mass value coming from this one. That's experience lost first of all on the side of the blue team, but at the same time, it's also threatening the wall here. Down here on the other hand, Garrosh is down. Nicely done. Stunned into the Immortal stun, and they're following it up with a potential second kill. Mekaku barely gets out. Lucio's still alive, but just look at those hit point pools. They're not looking too healthy. The top lane has been defeated too, at least the Shaman has. Still some experience lost. Nice attempt here to swap over Alarak, but once again we're having Mariak with an immediate reaction, pushing himself out here. Level 4 talent with the dominance now on Li Ming's side. So going for a standard build, no AWP shenanigans this time. Seen that a little bit too often these days. 1 kill in the game, and that's not all. Starting to jump in once more, with both of the teams trying to race it here, but obviously Quick Slick Trick already a bit ahead, but there's a lot of pressure from the amateur opponent, and they're nearly winning this one. They're losing it out in the end. Blue team wins it, but it's not really a big victory. 2,000 points on the shield left, and that's about it. Level 7 talents are ready for them though, and that gives us obviously also the cleanse now for Rhaegar. We're already having a couple of stacks together for Alarak. Icebound Fortitude, as expected. Full Chitinous plating build or hardened carapace build here for Anubarak, trying to play this safe. As we have our... Oh my god, again! Look at these Alarak plays! Nice! They didn't drop Garrosh, but he's so low that he has to tap early, and he can't really contribute to the defense as he's still that low. Good telekinesis that we're seeing here. Again, the combo, and this time he might actually not survive. They're making the play again. The stuns and the final blow as Garrosh goes down. Yeah, there's definitely a reason why they banned out Alarak, isn't there? He is doing solid work here. Great job, on the other hand, by Deadly Touch on Reyna. That penetrating round just saved Li Ming's butt. And they are level ahead, and with that first Immortal, despite the fact that they only had 2,000 shield points, we are already seeing them drop the entire top lane. Great play by them, and again, Alarak is doing work here. I'm mostly talking about the telekinesis, to be honest with you, but still, like, that guy is just doing... This is the second time that he stunned someone into the Immortal stun. He did it before, he did it again, and he's just really consistent with those plays, and that opens up opportunities for them to kill a target. 2 kills against 0. Well done by them. Bottom of the map, well, actually Artanis is starting to move around. Now they're trying to set something up. They kind of need a kill here, to be honest with you. If they can maybe speed up Garrosh through Lucio and get him close enough to someone to flip him in, that would help them. The problem that they're still dealing with is that fact that we are seeing Quick Slick Trick with the earlier level 10. I mean, they're more than a level ahead at this point, and if they have a chance to grab that level 10 around the second Immortal, I mean, duh, look at it. 26 seconds, there's nowhere near enough time for the Fish Facts to get level 10 by that time frame. They're 1.5 levels away from this. They're already moving Li Ming out on the top lane just to make sure that they're getting another wave. But this isn't looking pretty at all. They can dive at this point. They don't even have to go for the Immortal, first of all. They can just dive the fort. Look at that double minion wave here, and the cannon coming in. That's an easy one for them, and around Anubarak you can also force the fight if you really want to. And they know that too. The Fish Facts are just sitting there, they're watching. They can't do anything. They have to watch, and they're just taking a step back. They're saying, boys, there's nothing we can do about this. Just have to sit there and have to watch it happen. Nothing we can do. Even the camp is about to be taken away here. This is honestly, I mean, Quick Stick Trick is really just delivering right now. I gotta admit that I'm a little bit surprised of how well they are playing. It feels like the first game was a bit of a wake-up call for them. Maybe they underestimated their opponent because of the build or the team composition that the Fish Facts used in game number 1, but they definitely got their act together in game number 2, and right now in the third one, they are looking dominant. Arthur's also with 10 stacks now on the level 1, so he at least has completed the quest. That's a little 40 extra damage, of course, for him on those attacks too. But with that said, we have the Immortal. The halftime show has been won. There's still, I mean, there's still no level 10. This is going to be a fully shielded Immortal. This is going to be 100%, guys. This is an easy kill right there. That's going to be brutal. We have the Deadly Charge, by the way, also on level 10, so no counter-strike taken for Alarak. And looking at the damage output alone, Alarak is sitting at 11,000 right now. I like the attempt at the trap. They have their level 10s now, so they have a chance. But this is dicey, to say the least. I mean, they need a win here. They need somehow a kill, because that Immortal is just a bit too strong to be dealt with at this point. Already we're seeing them move in. Nobody's checking the bush. That's a bit of a problem. They're really buying their time. They want to dive behind the Immortal, and there comes the ult. They're going in, and they're trying to get the kill. The taunt is in, and they're trying to go for the reset. Here comes the Ancestral. The Hanzo arrow is already out. Oh my god, he survives. Jimmy is alive, and they kill the dog. And oh my god, Artanis falls, but still, they were just able to keep 2 of their heroes alive. The problem is Hanzo is jumping in, and he is dropping them. Triple kill by Hanzo, and they go for 4. They go for 5. It's a team wipe. They go for the full team wipe here, and they are obliterating the bottom keep, and they might even go for the core here. 1 second for Artanis to come back, but look at the Immortal. It's going full bad boy mode. Big boy pants here today as Artanis and Hanzo are absolutely wrecking this team. The Fish Facts are about to go down here, but still, Anubarak falls. Hanzo's dead as well. Is there a chance? Can they defend? I don't think so, and it is game. Quick Slick Trick with a comeback and a 2-1 victory against the Fish Facts.